Hey friends, welcome back to Ball Homestead. Today I've got 3 different recipes I want to make. Some spinach egg cups is what they're called, and some chicken sliders, and some blueberry lemon bars, which are fantastic. And they're all super simple, cheap to make recipes. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start out with the spinach egg cups. And it's super simple, super cheap to make, especially if you have chickens, because we've always got an abundance of eggs. So this will go good with homesteads that have a lot of eggs to use up. And these are only supposed to be about 100 calories each. I do have my own goat cheese because it called for Feta, but I'm going to use the homemade goat cheese that we make on our farm. I have some what's supposed to be Malabar spinach out there, and I picked approximately 2 cups of that. So we're going to get it chopped, get our eggs cracked in a bowl, season them with salt and pepper, pour them in our muffin tins, and top them with this chevre that I made. And then bake at 350, I think it's for 12 minutes. All right, let's get started. For any of you low-carb dieters, this would be a very good diet or food for you. Because like I said, they're only 100 calories, and I don't think there's any carbs in it at all. We're just going to give our spinach here a little rinse. And then we're going to chop it up into more bite-sized pieces. I'm going to try to get all the stems out. And we're wanting approximately 2 cups of leaves here. I'm just going to get these chopped and threw back in our bowl because we're just going to use the same bowl here. And the recipe calls for 12 eggs. Like I said, we have an abundance of eggs. We have farm fresh eggs all the time. So I'm always looking for ways to use some of these eggs up, and I thought this would be a nice, we don't eat supper, but this would be a nice little evening snack. It wouldn't be high in calories. I think it said 100 calories per cup. You could change it up however you wanted to, and it was simple, and I like simple. So we're just giving these a rough chop, just nothing fancy. Trying to get as much of the water off as I can. These never climbed the trellis. That's why I said I wasn't sure if it was Malabar spinach. I bought it on Amazon. But, I bought other things on there and it wasn't right, but you live and learn. So I try to stick with M.I. Gardner or Baker Creek, something like that. Some more reputable seed company. All right. Now we got our bowl rinsed back out. We're going to throw this spinach back into our bowl, minus the stems. And then we're going to put 12 eggs into this bowl. I just got all these washed. They're farm fresh. That's all we use on our homestead. We have for years, and we love them. We love having all these good eggs to do all kinds of yummy recipes. I like sharing with my family and friends, especially when egg prices were so crazy. They got plumb ridiculous. We're 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, salt and pepper. And pepper. All right. Now we're going to mix that up really well. I'm going to use a fork. We're going to mix it. Now we're just going to spray our muffin tins. And it says it should make around a dozen. We shall see. And it said it could be different depending on the size of your eggs and stuff. We're going to spray these very well because I do not want those eggs sticking in these things. Alright, we're going to scoop it off in there. And I think I'm going to use this little cookie scoop. That way, maybe I cannot make such a huge mess. There we go. I'm going to top it with some of our cheddar, or you can use Feta. This is just what I had, and I thought, you know, I can make this whole thing for free with stuff I have that we have made on our homestead, and that, friends, makes me so happy. I feel super accomplished whenever I can do a whole little thing and use nothing but things we've made on our homestead. I love this cheddar cheese. You can put it like some jam with it, or a little, we did some with like a pepper, you know, like a spicy log of it, and with crackers at the holidays. Everybody loved it. And it's another product we can make from our goat's milk. And that makes me happy. It makes me very happy. I like having things that we've made right here on the homestead. We know what's in it. We know, you know, our goats. And I'm just going to use the rest of this. And we're going to have 12 little egg cups. All right, we're going to get these in the oven, then we'll get on our next recipe. I also wanted to add this recipe. I could feel like could be very versatile. Like if you had an excess of zucchini, shred some zucchini in it and put it in instead of the spinach. If you had, you know, some extra whatever, any kind of vegetable, put that in there and add whatever kind of cheese you want. I think that it would be pretty versatile. But I just did this because I had all this and the recipe had called for Feta, and I thought, well, that's kind of like goat cheese, so that's what we're going to use. But this recipe cost us $0, which makes me happy. Friends, next we're going to put together our blueberry lemon bars. Like I said, these are fabulous. I'm always trying to watch what I eat, and then I come up with these new recipes and I end up having to try them. But anyways, we're going to get started on that now. All right, friends, we're going to get started on these blueberry lemon bars. And all you do is add 1 1/2 cups of flour to your food processor. 1 1/2. All right. Now we need 1/3 cup of sugar. Okay. Teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to cut our butter in small chunks. I have some here that is thawed. We're going to use it first. I had to grab some out of the freezer, and I grabbed small pieces in case I needed more. But we're using our goat butter. That's all we use when we have it. We're going to cut this up in here, and then we're going to blend all this together until it's like a crumbly crust. It's a shortbread crust is what it is. So all right, friends, we've got a nice little chunky crust there. So we're going to get our pan sprayed, and we're going to get this pressed in the bottom. These 9x13s at yard sales and thrift stores every time I find them. That way, if I need to take somebody a dinner or whatever, I can just make it in that and give it to them. And that, that, heck, they're as cheap just about sometimes at a yard sale as you can buy those throwaway pans for. Then they have a nice pan. All right. We're going to press this into the bottom of our casserole dish here. Just like a shortbread crust. And I did spray the pan. Just try to get it in there even as I can. And next, we're going to make the filling. And we're going to come back to this because we have to make a crumb topping too. But we're going to get the filling going. All right, friends, for our filling, we need a can of sweetened condensed milk. We're going to get that in. All right. Next, we need 2 egg yolks. We're just going to get a bowl here. Just going to separate our yolk, throw that in. I don't need any whites for anything, so I'm just going to pitch. Oh man, I dropped it. Well, we got plenty of eggs. Let me just grab another one. That one just didn't have much of a place to scoop it back to. All right, 2 egg yolks. We're going to mix that in, and we need a 1/2 cup of lemon juice. I did remember the lemon juice today. Surprise, surprise. I shock myself sometimes. All right, 1/2 cup of lemon juice. All right, and 3 cups of blueberries. I just picked up Always Save. 1. 2. I think I have some more in the freezer here. I wasn't quite sure how many I had, so I wanted to pick up another bag just to be on the safe side. We have tried and tried to grow blueberries, and we'll get a few, but we don't get enough to amount to nothing. So that's one staple that we love, or I love especially, is blueberries, and I will buy them. I like to bake and cook with them. But you can buy blueberries at the Dollar Tree. I've done it before. So get you a bag or 2 of those if you want to make this easy recipe. Now we're just going to mix all that together, and we're going to pour it over the top of our crust. All right. Let's get our crust over here. Just going to pour this over. Get all that good stuff out there. And now we're going to make our crumb topping. All right, for our crumb topping, we need 3/4 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, and butter. And we're going to mix all that together until we get a nice crumbly mixture. I'm going to Hope I can get this butter in chunks. It was in the, oh yeah, it's cutting nice. It was in the freezer and I took it out a while ago because I had forgot. Well, I just decide to do these things on a whim sometimes. I was like, oh my gosh, those blueberry lemon bars are so good. I've got to share them with my friends. So here we are, friends. Here we are. Get all this butter cut up in here, and then we're going to blend it all together for a nice crumble topping. All right. All right, we're going to get this put on top of our bars. All right, we're just going to put our crumble topping all over the top of this. Almost feels like a cake mix. All right, and we're going to get this in the oven. I've got the oven set at 350, and we've got our egg bites in there. We're going to check on them first, and then we're going to get that in the oven. Ooh, they're closed. These are done. We'll get our bars in the oven. And next, we're going to make some chicken sliders. All right, friends, we are going to get they're called crack chicken sliders made. And in this recipe, it calls for half of a cup of green onions, but I'm not putting those in there because my husband doesn't like onions. But I want to tell you that ahead of time. And I will post all these recipes in the description. All right, let's get started. All right, friends, we're going to get started on our chicken sliders. I think these are going to be really yummy. Just the ingredients makes me think so. Okay, to start out, we need 2 blocks of cream cheese, and I have already added those to our kitchen. Next, we're going to add an ounce of ranch powder. And I buy mine in bulk because we like making our own homemade ranch. 2 tablespoons of onion powder. And 2.5 cups of cheddar cheese. And then we're going to get our home canned chicken. It's some of our homegrown chicken from last year that I canned up. I love having home canned meats on my pantry shelf. It is so nice to be able to just grab and go with your stuff, and it don't take no time to do. It's so easy. We may do that soon because I still have some chickens I need to butcher. This is some of our home canned chicken from last year. And what I do is I always just, well, this is on there. There we go. Had a good smell. It smells amazing. I'm going to drain all the juice out and shred it up. I've just been waiting for a little cooler weather. We probably got about 12 or 15 birds out there that need to be butchered, but it has been so daggum hot here. So I thought, well, I'm just going to wait a little bit. It is too hot to be butchering chickens. I've got, I think, 12 already done before it got so hot. And I've still got some to do. I'm just going to take my hand, though, and kind of shred this up really fine because I want it fine in our sliders. And it said 2.5 cups of chicken, so we're going to measure that out. I may have way too much here. All right, there's 2 cups. We're going to dump that in our mixer. Oops. And a half. Okay, yeah, we've got quite a bit, but I'll have to figure out something else to do with that. All right, friends. Now we're going to put our sliders together. All right, we're going to get our sliders together. Now the recipe calls for the sweet Hawaiian buns, but I had these slider buns on hand, so I'm just going to use those. And all we do on the recipe, it showed cutting the whole block of the Hawaiian buns apart and filling it with halfway and then putting the top on and then putting the stuff on the top. But these buns are a little different. I just had them on. They need to be used. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use our buns here. I'm just filling each little bun with some of this yummy mixture. I'm putting a nice little scoop on it. These would be so good for like a dinner party or in the holidays coming up and stuff, or like a cookout to take. Be so yummy because I tasted this mixture and got friends. I can see why it's called chicken crack. It is delicious.
Heck, these would be good for an easy supper one night if you wanted to do something like that. Serve these with some chips and dip. Oh, it'd be so good. So good. After you microwave, we gotta butter the tops and put Parmesan cheese on top. And if you like onions, put some green onions or chives on top. And we're gonna bake these. I'll have to double check the times, but alright.
Our sliders are put together. Now let's grab this butter. We're going to butter these tops really good. And then we're going to sprinkle parm on it. How much better can you get than that? Butter all the tops with our yummy butter here. I'm going to have to look up how long these bake for. I can't remember. It's not very long, but all right, friends. Now we're just going to put some parm on top and sprinkle some of that on and pop these babies in the oven. It's gonna be delicious. Our egg bites are done and they are pretty tasty, guys. For being so simple, I just bag these up in like portion size or, you know, so I can put them in the fridge because they'll keep, I believe, in the fridge for like 4 or 5 days is what the recipe said. So Wayne will probably take a bag for breakfast in the morning and then we'll have some for snacks. This is all I do. I bought this from a friend up the road. They grow a massive garden. We have a little bit of okra, but not enough to put some in the freezer. And with grocery prices, guys, I didn't realize how bad it had got till I went and did my fetch stuff the other day. Because we really don't buy a lot of food, but I love okra. I bought 13 pounds of okra from her, and we're just going to put this up in bags and put it in the freezer. And like I said, whenever I take it out, I throw it in a sink of water. It's not got to be, I just put it in water. It ain't even got to be warm water or anything. I rinse it off good, and then I cut it up, and I put my meal and my flour on it, and salt and pepper, and fry it. And it's just like fresh okra. And this is like probably the easiest thing that I put up every year. And like I said, we we didn't grow a lot. I get enough for a little bit here and there, but I wanted to get some put up because I'm going to tell you, friends, I'm afraid it might be a hard winter with the rising cost of everything. I think it would be smart for all of us to prepare some. I mean, friends, I don't see it getting any better. So I think that we really need to get our freezer stocked, our pantry stocked, and I mean, you're going to end up eating the food anyway, so what's it going to hurt? It's the way I look at it. We would, anyways. We won't let things go to waste. We try not to. I mean, we have lived. Our money has been so tight at times, but we've always made it because we always gardened and raised a lot of our own food. So we always had that to fall back on. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that my husband supports, he's right in there with me. If it wasn't for him, our garden would be dead. I'm the planter and the canner. He's the one that keeps it alive. He waters and all that stuff. So it's a lot of teamwork, but we do it really well together. And for that, I'm so thankful because we put up most of our food or we buy it from local farmers, which, like I said, I'm afraid we're going to have some hard times. We're going to have a lot of rougher times, I believe, before it gets better. We just need to trust in God and, try to make it through the storm. I always say, I post a blog every week on my Facebook page. And my last thing for the whole time I've been posting it has been prayers for our country. Because this is times like we have never seen in our lifetime, the price of stuff, and I am so worried what our kids and grandkids are going to have to go through before hopefully it gets better before then. All right, friends, we ended up with 13 bags of okra. I do mine in quart bags because it's just weighing myself. But I paid $13.50 for this okra. If you don't garden, hit your local farmers markets. Look at your Facebook marketplace. People are always selling extras that they have. And fill your own freezer and pantry. These foods right here, most people grow them organically. So, it's definitely worth trying to get your stuff put up for the hard times ahead. Here's our beautiful sliders minus one. I had to try one, friends, and they were amazing. Anyways, you need to give this recipe a try. Here is our beautiful lemon blueberry bars. They turned out absolutely gorgeous. I'll pop these babies in the fridge and Wayne and his friends can enjoy them tomorrow at work. Alright, friends, we got our lemon blueberry bars made, our cracked chicken sliders, and some egg bites. And let me tell you, everything turned out good. The egg bites were good. I could see them being so much better with a little bacon or sausage crumbled up in them, but they were very tasty. And they were free. Stuff we grow right here on the homestead. So that makes me happy. Hope you guys have a wonderful week this week and enjoy this cooler temps. Until next time, friends, goodbye.